Gang, what's up? Welcome back to another edition here of Intuitive Angling. Much appreciated you guys taking some time to watch the video. Just headed back from Table Rock Lake last night. We had a Fish the Moment filming session with Johnny Schultz and Matt Steffen and Jimmy and myself. Got a bunch of good footage we're going to have coming out on all of our YouTube channels here over the next month with it. Actually, we're filming down here all week long, so going to spend a lot of time on Table Rock this week. But anyway, today's video was in correlation with today, what I sort of experienced on Table Rock a little bit. I want to talk about what to do when the fish you've located moved, as far as how to relocate them, that type of stuff. And real quick, before we just get started on today's video, just wanted to give you guys another reminder of our Solar Bat Sunglasses Founders Day sale up until August 15th. There's a couple different really good deals on Solar Bat sunglasses. The hunting glasses, shooting glasses, fishing glasses. Buy one pair, get the second pair free. Another deal they got going on is buy a pair of sunglasses and get a grab bag of sunglasses valued at $30. So you can get into that. I'll include the Solar Bat link in the description, and take advantage of that sale up until August 15th. Okay, guys, let's talk a little bit about this moving fish deal, man. This is one of the most frustrating parts of bass fishing, is when you locate some fish and you have to figure out how to relocate them. That's what happened to me today. I've been doing quite a few on the water lessons at Table Rock here the last few weeks, and I had several really big schools of suspended fish located, spotted bass, and today they were just gone. They just absolutely moved. So it got me thinking about, giving you guys some tips and advice on how to relocate those fish that once they do move. One of the things you have to realize about it first is that sometimes once bass move, or once they've relocated, you're not going to be able to hardly ever find them again. Sometimes they disperse out in such a manner that you just can't pick up on them again. That's just sort of the nature of bass fishing. There's not a lot that you can do about it, and I think that's one of the things that you sort of have to accept in fishing, is sometimes you're not going to be able to relocate those fish. Sometimes you just got to start from scratch and formulate a new pattern. But I want to give you guys a couple sort of foundational tips about how you can, relocate those fish if they do move. And let me give you just a couple different scenarios. Say you've been catching some fish, flipping boat docks. Say you're fishing docks that, it doesn't matter if they're piling docks or floating docks, that type of stuff, but you got on some type of a flip and bite on docks with a creature bait, something like that. And, conditions are similar. Maybe you got a partly cloudy sky the day that you caught them, and then the next day you're out there, you go through an area where you got quite a few bites in, and you just can't catch them. Okay, one of the things that you have to remember is when you're fishing targets like that basically give bass cover, like boat docks is a prime example, brush piles would be another example, areas that have complex cover, flooded bushes, anything like that. If you're fishing shallow cover, those fish are not just going to migrate, they're not just going to move out of there overnight. That's just not going to happen. The only thing that would cause that to happen is if, like, the lake turned to chocolate milk or something overnight. But if you've got similar conditions, those fish have not moved very far. Now, a lot of what happens with it can be a combination of environmental factors. It could be a slight rise or drop in the lake level, just a matter of inches. It could be a wind change in direction. It could be a wind change in speed. It could be something that has a little bit to do with a different light intensity. Sorry about the glare on the camera here, guys. So there could be a wide range of things that contribute to that, why those fish have moved. But if you're fishing around some type of shallow cover like that, you need to remember that those bass have not moved very far. So if you're catching bass, say you're flipping the inside pilings or the walkway areas of a dock, and then the next day you just can't get bit anywhere. One of the more likely options that those fish have done in a situation like that is they either move to a different part of the dock, maybe a deeper part of the dock. They may have suspended on the dock. There may be some brush close by that they moved into those brush piles, or they could move to the actual bank behind the dock. So when your fish have moved around obvious targets, you don't have to look very far for them. Look in the nearby proximity to that area. And another thing you can do that will help you out to relocate those fish is change up baits, because you know they may want a creature bait one day and the next day they may want a Texas rig worm. So you know, basically when you're fishing complex cover, you know, those fish aren't going to move very far, so don't look very far. Now if you're fishing something like a main lake point, say secondary main lake points, and say that you found some fish out on the point ends and sides in 15 foot of water on a little bit of break, something like that, and then you know, you got out there and you know caught them, and the next day you just can't catch them. A situation like that, when you're fishing a little bit deeper water, you know, you're going to be able to notice a lot of it from graphing an area. If you graph in an area, if it's a little bit deeper water and you don't notice a lot of activity in the terms of bait fish or fish, that will give you an indication those fish are off there. But normally in a situation like that, if you're fishing offshore structure, those fish have either moved, you know, down a break or farther down a break, or they've suspended out over the ends of the points. A lot of times they're just not going to swim out off of those points unless you have a radical weather change. Now, so let's say, for example, you've caught, you know, some good fish, you know, throwing a football head jig, excuse me, out off the ends of the point ends and sides in 15 foot of water. And it was partly cloudy day, you know, just normal fishing conditions. And say the next day you get out there and it's cloudy, it's overcast, the wind's blowing a little bit, and you graph over those areas and you notice you just don't see many bait fish or fish at all. A lot of times those fish are going to move right to the bank. I mean, if you've got cloudy, windy conditions, it doesn't take a fish 2 or 3 seconds to swim up, you know, 50 feet and just get in that 1 to 3 foot zone and, you know, start eating crawdads. So look for those fish to be a little shallower under those conditions. That's one of the things that happened to me at Table Rock today. Is like the bass I was catching, you know, last week, drop shot, and it was on a bright, sunny, bluebird type day. And yesterday we had a super hard rain all day, and I mean all afternoon and all evening, and some heavy clouds this morning. And for whatever reason, it moved those fish, and they probably moved up a little bit shallower. But I just kept looking for them out deep. I didn't make that adjustment. So basically, there's 2 different things, guys. 3 different things to remember here about fish moving. Number 1, sometimes you're not going to be able to relocate them. Number 2, if you're fishing shallow cover that has some complex cover to it, those fish aren't going to move far. And number 3, if you're fishing clean banks, offshore structure, areas that don't have a lot of cover, the bass will move a lot depending upon weather conditions and weather changes. So just, you know, think in terms of either the fish moving deeper or shallower or suspending on those offshore areas. So hope that makes sense, guys. Like I said, we'll give you some more updates as the week goes on down here. Going to spend a lot of time on the water this week. And thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys later.